Hello and welcome to the Secret Adventures of Black People. I'm your host, Nichole Hill. Hello, this is Nichole's inner monologue. We're reporting live today from Nichole's internal committee meeting on time management and personal pursuits. Today marks the special occasion she will be presenting her proposal titled Creative Project Name TBD for the 100th time. In the past, the committee has declined to deliberate on this proposal, calling it silly and a complete waste of time. The Committee on Time Management and Personal Pursuits is made up of her inner champion, love her inner critic, she's overrated, and her confidence, which is notoriously wishy-washy. I think that she is fine. Today she's fine. Nichole is stepping up to the mic now to present. Let's listen in. Hey everybody, it's Nichole. So I just wanted to come back and present y'all with my proposal, Creative Project Name TBD. I know I haven't mentioned it in a while, so but I've brought it up a lot over the years, and I'd like to revisit it. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'd hoped that even without the committee's blessing, I could get this project off the ground, or I don't know, that it just would kind of happen for me. But it turns out I need you guys on board. And I know that it would be a big time investment for us. I think, though, that it would be worth it and fulfilling and maybe helpful. So, yeah. I would love to finally get this approved by the committee. That is why I am here. Has something changed? Why do we have to hear about this again? I love Creative Project Name TBD. It's okay. It's just an ungodly amount of personal time and will make you... How much money again? No money. Matter of fact, it costs money. She's here to present. She has the floor. Let's hear her out. Go ahead, sweetheart. Present your proposal. Thanks. So I've actually been talking to other people about their projects lately, and I spoke with this woman named Erica, and she's great. Actually, she's a cartoonist and a mom and an improviser. She's like an all-around comedy person. And no, go faster than this. Do you have notes, love? Why don't you read off the notes? Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Okay. She's honest. She's deliberate. And over the years, she's been more and more honest with her committee about the projects that she loves and what would make her happy. And I think we have a lot to learn from her experience. So I'd like to play this recording of our recent conversations and share 3 key lessons I learned from talking to her, which I think illustrate why this committee should approve Creative Project Name TBD. Thank you. I'm just going to press play.
If I were doing my life over again, if I did things over again, I think I would have gone to school in New York. But like when I was 18 and it was time to pick colleges and whatnot, like a small part of me thought like, I know what I'll do. I'll pick a school and I'm not going to tell anybody that I want to be a theater or an acting major. I'll just stumble into it accidentally. But this dummy did not look for a school that had a theater program.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Got a regular office job doing like PR and writing and editing for a university, and my soul died. And got that performance itch again and did stand up for a bit. And that was cool. And then I learned sketch writing. Took a sketch writing class. I dabbled in improv for a little bit, but still wanted to know, like, is there more out there? Like, could my skills be better if I learned from somewhere else? And that's when I saw, like, oh, UCB has classes. I've got the time. Let's do this.
What is this? Why are we listening to this? I like her, sweetie. She's warm. She's got a warm voice. I don't understand. What's UCB? Lesson number 1 is that we can't ignore the things that make us happy. It's just going to keep coming back up. And when you love something, you don't pretend, you commit. Erica has just made the decision to take improv classes at the world-renowned UCB Theater, which actually we loved when we lived in New York, and we went there all the time. So anyway, she decides to take the class because she loves comedy and wanted to study under the best. To take those classes, she commits to taking a train ride 3+ hours up to New York City after work once a week, and then after class, she takes a 3+ hour train ride back to her home in Maryland.
So you make the decision you're going to commute from DC to New York once a week for how many weeks?
I think classes were 8 weeks, and I'd go up one class at a time.
Wow. And was everyone like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Or were people like, no, we get it. Your soul needs this?
So in the class, I would not tell people. I would try to keep that information on the down low, because that's all anybody would want to talk to you about when they found out. They'd be like, what? How? Why are you doing this? You're coming all the way from Maryland? That's so crazy. And I didn't want that. I just wanted to be in the class and do it, learn.
Did you have a cover story when you were in New York where you were like, oh, I got to go back to Brooklyn, if people were to ask you about where you were coming from?
No, because nobody like dug that deep. I guess I would do what lies of omission.
Yes, the best kind.
And when I took the class, when I took like the 101 there, I was on like an improv team, like had performed, and a lot of people in the class. It was interesting. I feel like there were most of the class was actors and not a whole lot of comedy nerds. I don't know if it was just like this class that I took. So people would be like very like, I'm nervous about being on stage and acting silly and not knowing what to do. It's like, don't be. I remember the teacher that I had. It felt like she was like a little frustrated with me. I remember her saying something like, yeah, you can do this in a scene, and Erica's just going to do what she does because she's a star. Da, 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 da.
What?
Yeah, and it's like, I did what we're supposed to do.
What? So you didn't perceive yourself as doing anything anything different from everybody else, or were you like a little bit better?
It wasn't like trying to be aggressive or anything or blow anybody out of the water. I think it was just like there wasn't room for her to critique. I don't know if she was getting frustrated with that.
Wow, that is a off-putting comment. It would make me feel a little self-conscious.
Yeah.
So she's having a bad time. Do you want us to clear creative project name TBD so that you can also have a bad time? Let me just find my place. Okay. This clip illustrates the second important lesson to keep in mind. Erica's experience shows that these kinds of investments might not be easy for others to understand. They may not always turn out the way you plan. Happiness might not immediately appear and everybody might not sing your praises, but investing in these kinds of projects and doing it in a way and at a pace that feels comfortable to you is worthwhile because, and this kind of leads me to my third lesson that you'll hear in this next clip, it reminds you of what you're capable of. Do you have like a memory or a character, like a scene or a character from class that you remember just being like, I just killed it today? Like, this was really funny. I really like this character or this scene or this premise.
No, I don't. But what I walk away from it with is the feeling. I was also sort of like looking at my life and asking myself, like, am I doing the things that I want to do? It's like, oh, what stories am I telling about myself? And does that match who I want to be? And then also just that feeling that I would get in the city of like feeling more assertive and control of myself and less self-conscious. It was great. And so I was pretty disappointed with the classes themselves. But what did I learn at that? It was just like, you didn't need this class to feel good about whatever talent you have or to have permission to perform.
In conclusion, Creative Project Name TBD will not be a success because it captures the attention of the world or it makes this committee $1 million. It will be a success because we will have been honest about something we love and we will have pursued it bravely. I believe we will learn a great deal about the strength of our capacity for vulnerability and connection through this project, and also I think it will be fun. I'm asking this committee to approve Creative Project Name TBD and to boldly invest in our talents and passions. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time and attention. That was a weird way to go about it. You should have picked a happier story. It is a happy story. Okay, darling. Well, this new story does give us a model of what it could look like. So I think the committee should revisit this proposal and we'll get back to you with an answer. Okay. Nichole has managed to convince the Internal Committee on Time Management and Personal Pursuits to revisit Creative Project Name TBD. She will still need to get it approved by several more committees, but this is a promising first step. This has been Nichole's Inner Monologue. Thank you for listening to The Secret Adventures of Black People. I'm Nichole Hill, your producer and host, and you can follow the show on Secret Adventures of Black People on Instagram. And shout out to the Black adventurers over at D-City Smokehouse. I live in D.C. and I produce the show here, and the first time that I met up with Erica to hear her story was actually at this barbecue spot. It is, in my opinion, the very best barbecue in all of Washington, D.C., and the vibe is exactly right. It's just like a bunch of picnic tables, every kind of collection of person. You go get your own utensils, you go get your own food, you sort your own stuff out. And the food, especially the Brussels sprouts and the baked beans and obviously all of the meat, is chef's kiss perfect. That's D-City Smokehouse. This is just a free promo for my favorite local barbecue spot. Okay, see you again soon for more stories about Black folks holding it down across space and time.